Good morning, children, and welcome once again to this part of the video class for class 5 subject science. Hope you all are doing fine with both health and mind and enjoying these video classes that we have been putting up for you all. Now, on that happy note, let us continue further. Today, I am going to continue with the same lesson, that is chapter 6, that is solids, liquids and gases. Today we are going to talk about solutions and of course different other terms that are used there. You must have heard of or you must have used, you drink so many cold drinks. Okay, you also, when you fall sick, you take medical syrups as medicines. So actually these are all solutions. You may not have recognized them as solutions, but you know that these are solutions. Now the question is, what is solution? Now solution is a transparent mixture in which the substances are dissolved completely, or we can say that when the substance mix together uniformly, a solution is formed. Now, what is there? So, if I have to define solution, I would say that it is a transparent mixture in which the substances are completely dissolved. The solid or the substance that dissolves is called the solute, and the liquid in which the solid dissolves is called the solvent. So let us define this solution. So I would define solution as it is a transparent mixture. It is a transparent mixture in which the substances are completely dissolved. Now, a solute. What is a solute? The substance that dissolves. The substance that dissolves in that liquid. The substance that dissolves. We see that is called the solute, and the solvent. We will say that solvent. The liquid in which the solid or the solute gets dissolved is called the solvent. Now we can have different examples of a solution. So example of solution can be, say, a sugar solution. We can have sugar solution. Now in sugar solution, or it may be salt solution, etc. So in this sugar solution, sugar is the solute whereas water is the solvent. Again, a salt solution, the common salt that we use at home, that salt is the solute and again the water is the solvent. Not necessarily that every time a solute and liquid will form a solution. There can be two liquids also. There can be one gas and one liquid also. There can be two gases also. So there are different types of solutions. That means solute, solvent can be in a solution can be different. So on that basis we will categorize the different types of solution. Now I am going to draw a table wherein I will show you the different types of solution with examples, and thereby show you and tell you what are the solute there and what is the solvent there. So I am going to draw a table like, okay. Now children, here I have drawn a table showing the different types of solutions. I have mentioned an example and what is the solute in that and what is the solvent in that. I have listed 4 such types of solution. First one is solid in liquid. This is a very common example that I have taken. It is given in the book also, sugar water. It can be salt water also. So this is a solid in liquid solution where the sugar is the solid and water is the liquid. Next, I have taken an example of a gas in liquid solution. Now you must be wondering, how can a gas dissolve in liquid? Well, you have experienced it, but never, you must have seen but not really known that a gas has been dissolved there. When you open a cold drink bottle, it comes out with a fizz, okay, and that carbon dioxide tries to evolve or get out of it. Actually, it is a carbon dioxide that has been stored in the liquid under pressure. So a gas in liquid is a soda water. Now in soda water, carbon dioxide is the solute, which is a gas, and water is the solvent, which is a liquid. So this is another type of solution. Now gas in gas. A fine example is air. Now air is of course it contains maximum, it is nitrogen and oxygen plus other gases. Here I have taken 2 gases where oxygen being in the minor proportion, that means less, is the solute, and nitrogen being in the more quantity is the solvent. Generally in a solution, whichever component is present in the larger quantity is the solvent. So here in gas and gas air, this solution, oxygen is the solute and nitrogen is the solvent, you can say that. Next is liquid in liquid, alcohol and water. Actually this alcohol, it is an organic compound, that is ethyl alcohol, and water, where alcohol is the solute and water another liquid, that is the solvent. So these are examples of different types of solutions with example, and it is mentioned, I have mentioned there which is the solute and which is the solvent. Now all solutes are not soluble. They are not soluble in liquid. Some are soluble and some are not soluble. So the substance which are soluble are known as soluble substances. So the substances which are soluble in liquid, substances which are soluble in liquid are said to be soluble substances, and the substances which are insoluble in liquid, substances which are insoluble in liquid, are insoluble in liquid. Now there are various solutes that are insoluble. For example, sand, mud, chalk powder, these do not get dissolved in the liquid, say water, whereas sugar, salt, these are soluble in water, that is a solvent. So we have soluble and insoluble substances. Now in the book we have an activity where we can identify which solutes are soluble and which are not soluble. We are just going to go through that activity. Now if you look on page number 60, that is activity 4, you have there an aim, that is to identify soluble and insoluble substances. So what are the materials that you will require? 4 tumblers, a jug, water, a spoon, 4 strainers. You know what is a strainer? Your mother uses to filter out the tea leaves when she makes tea. These strainers having fine pores. Common salt, sugar, sand and chalk powder. Now these are all 4 are solutes. Now we will try to find out which of them are soluble and which are not soluble. So the procedure that will be followed here is, fill the 4 tumblers with water. You have got 4 tumblers, fill each of them with water. Now add 1 teaspoon of common salt to the first tumbler, sugar to the second tumbler, sand to the third tumbler, and chalk powder to the fourth tumbler. Now stir the content, that means the solute that you have taken, in each of the tumbler with a spoon. Now strain each solution through a strainer one by one. And then we are going to observe whether there is a residue, that means something is left there or not, on the strainer or not. Now what do we observe? Sand and chalk powder are left on the strainers, whereas sugar and common salt pass through the strainer. Now why is it so? Because sand and chalk powder are insoluble, whereas sugar and common salts are soluble in water. So if we see that again, that there are certain substances which are soluble, certain substances which are not soluble. Now we can separate these soluble and insoluble substances from their solution. There are some processes or methods that is involved there. For insoluble substances can be separated from their solution by method that is sedimentation, decantation and filtration. Now sedimentation. Now what is the sedimentation? Now this we can do practically. You can do it at home also. Now what is needed is you take a glass of muddy water. In a transparent glass you take muddy water. Now allow that to stand for some time, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and observe what happens. You will find that the mud particles, they settle down at the bottom after some time. Now these particles that settle down at the bottom, the mud particles, they are known as the sediments. It can be anything. And the clear liquid is formed above the sediments, which are known as the clear liquid is known as the supernatant liquid. Now we can easily pour out the clear liquid into another vessel and collect the clear water and the sediments together. So if I have to define sedimentation, I would say it is a process, that is the process of settling down of the heavy insoluble impurities at the bottom of the container is known as a sedimentation. Now let me define sedimentation. I'll write it on the board. So children, here I have defined sedimentation. It is a process, that is the process of settling down of heavy insoluble impurities at the bottom of the container, leaving clear liquid, that is the water, on the top, is called sedimentation. Now here just I have drawn two glasses. This is a muddy water. This is a process of sedimentation being demonstrated here. The first glass consists of the muddy water that has been stirred, and then the second glass. This is the first glass and the second glass. The second glass has been left standing for say an hour. After some time, or maybe half an hour also, so we find that all the insoluble impurities has collected at the bottom, which is called the sediment. So this black color that I have denoted here is the sediment. Okay, and the clear liquid above this, the clear liquid, actually it is called the supernatant liquid, that is the water. Now if this supernatant liquid is transferred to another vessel without disturbing the sedimentation, the process is known as a decantation. So here I have defined decantation, the process of removing clear liquid after settling down of sediment is called a decantation. Usually the pond water, when we bring it to the settling tank, we keep the water there for some time, and all the suspended impurities and the insoluble impurities get separated, and then from the top the clear water is pumped out for filtration process. Anyway, so that is about sedimentation and decantation. These methods are used to separate insoluble impurities. Now filtration is also another method of separating, but it is a better method compared to, though it is done on a small scale, but it is a better method than sedimentation and decantation. It is the process of separation of insoluble substance from their solution through filter paper. Is called a filtration. Now filter paper is a special type of filter, this paper that has got pores, very fine pores that allows only the solvent molecules to pass through it and not the solute molecules. For example, if I take chalk powder and say this water, it does not dissolve. If I filter it out, all the chalk powder will be left as a residue and the clear liquid will be collected. So these are the two methods where we can separate the insoluble impurities. Now I will demonstrate an experiment, not experiment, to show about filtration. So let us focus on activity 6 that is given in your book on page number. Here is an activity to show the how to separate an insoluble substance from its solution by filtration. So material required are beaker that will be available in the laboratories, sand, water, spoon, funnel, flask, cone and filter paper. Now what is the procedure? You fill a beaker A. Where is this? This is the beaker A that is containing the impurities. Now add some sand to it, then stir it well with the spoon. That means it is an impure solution. Now take a filter paper, of course filter paper, I had told you that these are special types of papers, and place it in the funnel. Now this is just like a funnel. You must have poured the oil and all used for pouring the oils in the oil tanks and all, as shown in the figure, and fix the funnel on the stand. So this is the stand. Put another beaker, say B, this is beaker B, below the funnel, and then pour the sand solution on the funnel. Now what do you observe? Clear water is collected in the beaker B and sand is left behind in the funnel. Now we come to the conclusion that sand dissolved in water gets separated on passing the sand solution through a filter paper. Now this can be easily done at home also. So today we saw about solution, the solute, solvent, the insoluble substances, the soluble substances, types of solutions with examples, and also we learnt about 3 methods of separating the insoluble substances from their solution. Today we will keep it till here only. I hope you have understood and enjoyed this class, and till then take care and thank you.